Hi YouTube, welcome back. Another video, day 2 of Vlogmas. We're consistent. I'm so proud of us. We're back for another leg day. This time I do have my mic. We're going to attempt to do a mic'd up workout. This is a really cheap mic that I got off of Amazon, meaning it's not a Rode mic. It's not great. It doesn't do the best at filtering out the music, so I'm really hoping you guys can hear me. The gym is more empty today versus in my last video, so I'm hoping they blast the music just ever so slightly less. As you can tell by the title, we're training glutes today, my absolute favorite. Some would say my specialty. I know I gained a lot of subscribers from the video I just did with Julia. This workout is going to have some similarities, but overall pretty different, just to show you guys some range of glute exercises. I don't want to give you guys the same exact workout we just did last weekend. Also, the gym I'm currently at has some really fancy glute focused leg machines. So we're going to try out some of those today because some of them I've literally never seen in my whole life. If they feel good, I'll leave them in. If I try them and they suck, you will not be seeing those today. But everything I am doing, I'm also going to include a substitution in case your gym doesn't have this quote unquote fancy equipment, because I know not everyone has access to the same machine. So I'll substitute it with an exercise that most gyms have, so that you can try this workout out. Also, please let me know if you do. I've been having some people reach out and DM me because they tried the workout that I did with Julia and they said it's super good. So I love feedback. Okay. My love language is words of affirmation, so keep them coming. Okay, I'm starting on the abductor machine. We actually have a fancy squatting one, which you guys are going to see in a second, so I'm going to superset this one with that one. But if you don't have the squat variation at your gym, you can just do 15 leaning back, kind of treating this like a warm-up. You want to be controlled with your movement, so don't swing it all around, but you're not going insanely heavy. I feel it around rep 8, which is why I'm able to get to rep 15 before it's really debilitating. So yeah, 10 to 15 leaning back, and then you don't want to lift your butt off or be super forward or arch your back. You still want to keep your core really tight and controlled and just shift forward. So that is all you're changing for 10 to 15 more, depending on what you're capable of doing. Don't pick a weight so easy that you're easily getting 30 reps in. It should be really, really challenging by the end. But for me, I'm just going to do 10 to 15 reps leaning back and then head over to the squat variation, since that's going to give that similar hip hinge energy. Hopefully that makes sense. Even when your back is back like this, you never want to arch your back and use your hips to drive out. Try to round your hips under and really keep your core tight, and think about just driving out with your glute by pushing through your knee. You don't really want to use your feet and ankles and again, swing everything everywhere. Super controlled. As stated, this is the fancy abductor. I've only used it a few times. Hold on, I need to clip you guys in. So there's a few different ways to do this machine if you do have it at your gym. First way is to squat with it. So you squat as you do the abduction movement, which I think is great. Second option is to just find where you feel the most engaged with your glute. At what point in the squat do you feel your glutes take over? Then just hold it there and drive out with your knees, just like we did in the previous machine. This is the variation I'm gonna do. Probably gonna do 15 reps this first round as a warm-up, and this one I'm gonna end up going heavier on while keeping the normal abductors pretty light. I don't know how people do mic'd up workouts without just heavy breathing the whole time. I sometimes lose engagement when I get my knees too close together. So if you ever notice, I have my hands in my crotch, karate chop. I like to keep my hands here kind of as a reminder to not go any further in than that. Oh man, my butt cheeks they're quivering. My butt cheeks are quivering. I am already sweating, so we're about to strip. I really enjoy giving the people behind me a show for this workout. For some reason, they have this with your butt facing the entire gym. I haven't self-tanned in God knows how long, so be nice to me in the comments, please. Do my butt cheeks look like little blueberries? You guys are getting quite the show back there. Oh. felt those. Okay, this is my third set here, and I started on these. So I think I'm gonna end up doing 4 supersets and then 1 extra set on the squatted one, just because my first set was so obnoxiously light that I feel like I didn't get a lot out of it. I might even go a little bit heavier here. These are really bad. Oh. Okay. The reason I start with abductors is just because that's personally my weak point. I have a really easy time engaging with my glute maximus, but not so much my medius, which is that like outer part of the glute. I'm so out of breath. I really need to start doing cardio again. I've had some people ask me like what I'm doing for cardio. The answer is nothing. Absolutely nothing. I don't do cardio. I don't touch cardio. Sometimes I'll walk on the treadmill for like 2 minutes, and that's about it. And I'm not trying to lead by example with that. Okay, be better than me. Do your cardio. I'm just lazy. I'm the most lazy, active person you'll probably ever meet. Okay, next we have hip thrusts. I'm just going to place, hopefully you guys can see it, but I'm just placing the band under my knees. Everyone's body is different, so just play around with band placement. I notice if I'm like along the shin, I feel it the most, even sometimes like down by my ankles weirdly, but I do have like clients and friends that prefer above their knees, so there's no right way, there's no wrong way, whatever you feel the best. This one has like a weird seatbelt. And then you'll notice I just have 25s on each side. I used to be the person that would do barbell hip thrusts and put like 4 plates each side and go crazy heavy. And yes, those have benefits and those can be great, but I personally feel lighter weight a lot better in my actual glutes versus when I do end up going heavier, I feel like my hamstrings kick in, my quads kick in, my back kicks in. So I've learned that lightweight and controlled reps work a lot better for me. Again, each to their own. I still go heavy on some days. It's just like 90% of the time I'm sticking to like 25s, at most 45s each side. I don't really go much heavier than that. For feet placement, I do switch it up depending on the day and what I'm more focused on. If I'm doing like glute maximus, I'll be a little closer. If I'm doing medius, I'll go a little wider, toes a little more out. Today I'm going to kind of go like same distance as my hip width, toes ever so slightly out. I'm not like fully rotating them, but just enough where I'm like a little more on the outside of my foot. And then you'll notice like I keep my toes completely off the platform for most of the reps. I just feel like when I push directly into my heels is when my glutes actually squeeze the most versus like if you push more into your toes, you're going to use a little more quad. This machine's really squeaky, so I don't know if you guys are going to hear me during my set, but I'm going to be doing anywhere from like 10 to 20 reps this first round, kind of see how I'm feeling today, and then we'll go from there. I also like to squeeze at the top for a second, just like really give the glute contraction and then be really slow on my way down. Dynamic on the way up, squeeze, slow. And I'm thinking about pushing outwards with my knees the entire time. That again just gives more of that glute medius. Oh man. Okay, first set felt really good. I ended up doing like, I think 12. One thing about me is I don't ever actually count my reps. I'll count the first like 6 maybe, and then I go based on the vibes. I know that sounds funny, but like honestly it's what works for me. I feel like when I count, even if it's like I have 10 more in my tank, if I told myself I was stopping at 12, I'll stop at 12. When sometimes I feel like we need that extra push, and sometimes, you know, ignorance is bliss. You just did 20 reps and you didn't even know, versus psyching yourself out for doing 20 reps. And before y'all come for me in the comments, I know more isn't always better. I'm just making a general statement here. Getting up is so difficult already. My third and fourth set, I'm just going to add 10 more pounds each side, nothing crazy, just enough where I'm like actually fatiguing by the end of these sets. A podcast listener just came up to me. If it was you, hello. When you guys come up to me, I don't think you understand. First off, it makes my day. I could literally cry just thinking about it. Like, I can't believe I'm in a position where people will like approach me and be like, I watch your stuff, or like, I listen to you every morning, or whatever, you know? See, I'm already getting a little flustered. But like, not only is it astonishing, and if you told me like 2 years ago that I would have any sort of reach or impact, like that would blow my freaking mind. But also, I'm very shy and introverted, and I never really know how to say hello or what to say. I feel like I always just want to like sit down and talk with you guys and like spend a ton of time together, but I understand like you have a life too, and that's a little weird. So I really try to be super friendly, even though, you know, I have resting bitch face, you know, I'm a little tough to approach sometimes. Please do. If you ever see me, please do. It always makes my day, and hopefully I give you a good interaction. I overthink every single time. Like, I ran into a girl in Target 2 weeks ago that was like, oh, I listened to your podcast, and I gave her a hug, and then the whole rest of the day I was like, did I come on too strong? Did I come on too mean? Did I give her a good experience? So yeah, anyway, we're about to go into our last set here. The only thing I'm changing, oh Jesus. The only thing I'm changing on this last set is I'm going to go a little bit slower through the first like 6 reps, and then the remaining reps I'm going to go a slightly faster pace, and then on the last one I should already be like super fatigued at that point. I'm going to hold at the top for like at minimum 5 very slow seconds. Slow at first, just kind of like slow and controlled. It's kind of how I was doing in the sets before this. The faster. Oh man. Hold. I'm doing RDLs here on the Smith machine for a few reasons. When I try to do these with a dumbbell, I feel like I lose my grip a lot, and then if I use a barbell, they tend to hurt my back. So a good thing about the Smith machine is it's on a stationary plane of motion, so you really can't change much. This one's actually perfect for RDLs in my opinion because it's like ever so slightly slanted. So on my way down, it's slanted like towards me, which is like perfect because then you can keep it dragging along your legs the whole time instead of like reaching far out in front of you. My biggest cue always when I'm teaching people how to do RDLs properly is you don't want to think about I'm bending over and I'm standing up. You want to think about your glutes and your glutes only here. You want to think about stretching your glutes out, so just pushing your hips back. You don't want to think about bringing your chest out. Just push your hips backwards, and with that, obviously, your chest is going to hinge with it. Keep all your weight on your heels, push back with your hips until you feel a stretch through your glutes and through that hamstring, and then once you get to that point, just think about squeezing your glutes in. Don't think about standing up, don't think about like raising your chest. If anything, think about pushing your hips forward. So this is the plane of motion, not this. Hopefully that makes sense. My stance is like shoulder width apart, toes very slightly turned out, all my weight on my heels. Okay, we are finishing with kickbacks and also a cable abductor variation, which I'll show you in a second. I'm dumb and forgot my own like ankle strap, so I'm using just a normal grip you can find at any gym. Usually gyms have their own ankle straps, but I think someone stole all of ours, so that kind of sucks. It wouldn't be the kind of workout if, you know, everything went smoothly. Something needs to go wrong every workout. It's kind of a rite of passage. But just pretend I have an ankle strap on. You can definitely do them these ways. It's just if you are starting out or you don't do these often, it's a lot harder to find your foot positioning, and then you're worrying so much about like your foot slipping out that you're not focused on the actual exercise. So I would recommend ankle straps, but anyway, I'm gonna bring my chest slightly forward. I don't hinge like a ton, it's just not comfortable for me personally. There's a slight hinge, starting with a bent knee, and I kick straight back. Again, similar to the RDL, I just think about where my glute is contracted. I'm not trying to kick super high or anything, I'm just really trying to squeeze at the top and then control it back in. I'm gonna do 8 reps to start. This is kind of like an easy-ish medium weight, but my glutes are super fatigued already. They're actually kind of numb and in pain at the same time. So I'm probably gonna end up going heavier in the next set. And then on that same leg, before I switch legs to the other side, I'm going to do the superset. So I'm doing right leg kickback, right leg abductor, left leg kickback, left leg abductor. You definitely have to lower the weight when doing these. They are substantially harder to go heavy on compared to glute kickbacks. And then I'm just slightly crossing my leg in front of me and kicking out to the side, keeping a slight bend in my knee the whole time. Same thing, not trying to kick to a certain height, just trying to feel like this upper outer part of my glute. And trust me, if you do add these to the end of your workout, you're gonna feel them off the first rep. Oh my god. I'm shooting for 10 on those. I don't think I'm gonna get it just because I'm super fatigued. So I'll stop around like rep 8, probably, unless I go any lighter. I'm gonna add like 10 extra pounds for this next set. I'm a big advocate for actually like touching my glute when training them, just because then you can feel like what part is actually engaging, and you can kind of play around with like your hip and foot placement to hit exactly where you are trying to hit. Whose idea was it to do these? I realize it's mine, but immediate regret. Oh my god. My glute feels like it's gonna fall off. Hi guys, it's actually the next day right now, and I realized I never filmed an outro. My camera ended up dying at the gym, and then the rest of my day yesterday was just super busy with work and clients and things, so I didn't end up getting home until pretty late. So sadly, that is all I have for you guys today. I know it wasn't wildly entertaining, but hopefully you learned a thing or two. Please let me know if you and a hair. Let me know if you end up trying this workout. I'm gonna put the entire workout with some details down in the description so you guys can screenshot it and try it whenever your next leg day is. Oh, also starting next week, I'm just putting like a rough posting schedule out there for myself and also for you guys to know when to expect videos. I'm gonna be trying to post every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. I might miss one here or there. And just a reminder, that's just for the rest of December, and then I'm probably switching back to 1 day a week. So yeah, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for all the support on this channel so far. Really means the world to me. And yeah, love you. Bye.